been a while since I've done these live videos, since I rolled out the podcast, but I'm going to start these up again. Some people I ran into back from New York said they missed watching them. So I just want to share these updates. So I'm going to do these on Tuesdays going forward. So I'll just give a quick update on what we're working on, what's working in our business, what's not, what's happening in the Jacksonville market. So for today, I wrote down a couple things. June through September was brutal for us. I think we did one contract a month, despite all of our other metrics being what they should be. We were putting in the behaviors in order to get contracts. We were getting offer appointments, offer calls, but we were just not able to close the majority of them. I think typically we make about 6 offers to a contract. September, I think we were at 32 offers to a contract, which is just horrific. And the big reason behind that is there was a lot of discrepancy in price, meaning sellers still thought their house was worth what their house was when interest rates were 3%. And obviously people like me who are buying with the future in mind, interest rates may only get worse when we go to resell. We're not able to offer anywhere close to that. So that was interesting, but October kind of turned around. We did 5 contracts in October. So I think some people who need to sell are starting to realize that this is not something that's going to change. The prices aren't going to go up anytime in the next year. So now is as good a time to sell as ever. So that's October did pick up for us. A couple of things we really worked on that helped us increase our lead flow a lot. We worked a lot on our cold calling. We got our contact rate up. So what that is, the number of right people, verified owners that you reach per hour. We actually got that up to now we're averaging about 14 contacts per an hour. So generally industry 10 or more is considered really good. So we're pretty steady at 14 for the last 6 weeks. And there's a couple ways that we did that. First, we got all our callers on the same schedule. So that way we have 4 callers on at any given time. Everyone works pretty much the same shift. And what that allows us to do is crank up the lines on the dialer. So we're calling more people, and then any overflow goes to the other agents. So there's not a high abandon rate. So anyone who doesn't know about cold calling, the lines on the dialer are how many people you're calling simultaneously. And then when one person answers, it connects to that person. But you don't want to have too many if you only have one person on there, because what ends up happening is your abandon rate goes high. That's like 2 people answer at once, you got to hang up one call, and that can lead your numbers being flagged to spam. So having everyone on at the same time allowed us to really crank those lines up on the dialer without the downside effects. Also, we started running our numbers through something called AREI. So we don't call numbers that are not connected, so that you'll get numbers back from your data provider. Some will be connected, some won't be. And this software shows us which ones are disconnected, and we just eliminate those right away. So that's helped a lot. And then we're doing live transfers on everything. Our acquisitions guys are on at the same time, same hours. We're doing sales training at the same hours as the acquisitions team is doing their trading. So everyone's available to live transfers. The idea is that we have to book less callback appointments because it's really hard to get built back on the phone. Jordan Rabier, he's the one who told me about AREI. It also tells you the CNAME or CNAM. I don't know exactly how it's pronounced, but that shows you what the caller ID of the person is. So we haven't implemented that yet. I think we will for single dialing once we roll that out later this quarter. But I do think that's something that's super valuable as well. I've also got 2 guys working in acquisitions now. My goal is to get myself to the role of sales manager instead of being closings. Got one guy we moved up to senior acquisitions, and another we hired for juniors. We're really making our goal to hit at least 12 appointments a week. So it's 12 qualified appointments a week. They've been doing great. I've got them both doing Sandler training with me, and I think their sales skills are getting really good. So it'll allow me to step in that role of sales manager and not be like closing everything, which will be a nice change. And then we've got the podcast, of course. The podcast has been going really well. Luisa on my team has been spearheading that. You guys should check it out. If you don't, we do it every Friday live at 4 p.m. We're going to roll out on the podcast players. But the idea behind the podcast, there's really 2 things behind it. People ask me why you're doing it. It's to increase deal flow, so we can stay in front of wholesalers to buy deals from them, wholesalers, agents. You want to be top of mind when someone gets a deal like these guys are buying. So that's the first thing. And then it's also to stay in front of people who I'm already friends with, but want to stay in front of them for maybe raising private money in the future. And then they see all the stuff that we're working on. So when we go to raise private money, they'll have a brand. They already have seen what we've been working on. We have been hiding it. So that's the main thing. Also, you get to interview some really amazing, interesting people, ask them what they would do in different scenarios in their business, how they overcame things, and then I can take that and I can apply it to my business. So it's been a great thing. It only requires about an hour and a half of my own work per week, which is awesome. And I'm just pretty bummed. So guys, check it out. Friday, 4 p.m. Real Estate Game Changer show. We broadcast it live. We'll be out on Apple and Spotify soon. So I think those are all the updates for this week. I don't want to make these things too long. I'm going to do these every Tuesday just to keep everyone in the loop. And yeah, tune in next week.